The Magic of Thinking Big by David J. Schwartz, Philosophy Doctor. Chapter 2, Cure Yourself of Excusitis, The Failure Disease Part 6. As I look back at my college education now, I see that I became an expert in why a business idea won't work out. I learned every conceivable pitfall, every reason why a small business will fail. You've got to have ample capital, be sure the business cycle is right, is there a big demand for what you will offer? Is the local industry stabilized? 1,001 things to check out. The thing that hurts most is that several of my high school friends who never seemed to have much on the ball and didn't even go to college now are very well established in their own businesses. But me, I'm just plodding along, auditing freight shipments. Had I been drilled a little more in why a small business can succeed, I'd be better off in every way today. The thinking that guided Chuck's intelligence was a lot more important than the amount of Chuck's intelligence. Why some brilliant people are failures. I've been close for many years to a person who qualifies as a genius, has high abstract intelligence, and is Phi Beta Kappa. Despite this very high native intelligence, he is one of the most unsuccessful people I know. He has a very mediocre job, he's allied of responsibility. He has never married, lots of marriages end in divorce. He has few friends, people bore him. He's never invested in property of any kind, he might lose his money. This man uses his great brain power to prove why things won't work rather than directing his mental power to searching for ways to succeed. Because of the negative thinking that guides his great reservoir of brains, this fellow contributes little and creates nothing. With a changed attitude, he could do great things indeed. He has the brains to be a tremendous success, but not the thought power. Another person I know well was inducted into the Army shortly after earning the Ph.D. degree from a leading New York university. How did he spend his 3 years in the Army? Not as an officer. Not as a staff specialist. Instead, for 3 years he drove a truck. Why? Because he was filled with negative attitudes toward fellow soldiers. I'm superior to them, toward Army methods and procedures, they are stupid, toward discipline, it's for others, not me, toward everything, including himself, I'm a fool for not figuring out a way to escape this rap. This fellow earned no respect from anyone. All his vast store of knowledge lay buried. His negative attitudes turned him into a flunky. Remember, the thinking that guides your intelligence is much more important than how much intelligence you have. Not even a PhD degree can override this basic success principle. Several years ago I became a close friend of Phil E., one of the senior officers of a major advertising agency. Phil was director of marketing research for the agency, and he was doing a bang-up job. Was Phil a brain? Far from it. Phil knew next to nothing about research technique. He knew next to nothing about statistics. He was not a college graduate, though all the people working for him were. And Phil did not pretend to know the technical side of research. What, then, enabled Phil to command $30,000 a year while not one of his subordinates earned $10,000? This, Phil was a human engineer. Phil was 100% positive. Phil could inspire others when they felt low. Phil was enthusiastic. He generated enthusiasm, Phil understood people, and, because he could really see what made them tick, he liked them. This is the end of Chapter 2 Part 6.